assume you're exporting another hit video for the site?
Assume whatever the hell you want. Meanwhile, I'll be over here having just finished watching The Wire for the 8th time. Do you think I'd have to go to cop school, or could I just, like, walk in and be a sergeant?
You know, The Wire isn't that realistic.
Blasphemy! Sacrilege! Sacrament! Macrame!
I'm not saying it's not good, it's just not a very realistic depiction of what the day-to-day of a cop is like. Or a gang member, for that matter.
And you would know that because...
How do we know anything? Right? A melange of podcasts and internet research and statistics, and my father's 9 years in the Los Angeles Police Department.
Oh, well, la-dee-da.
And sure, The Wire's more realistic than Law & Order, or NYPD Blue, or Third Cop Show.
Cops! No! Bosch! No! Backstrom, he's a genius, but he's hard to work with.
Sounds great, except I hate you.
Any of them still combine people into single characters and have them do more than a real cop does in their entire career.
They spend an inordinate amount of time filling out paperwork and filing requests.
It's not just paperwork. Everything about cop shows overlooks the staggering mundanity of a real cop's life. Yes, being a cop is a tough job, but you're not just constantly squaring off against a cadre of sophisticated gangsters. If anything, a cop spends most of their time doing community outreach.
You're telling me heroin dealers don't regularly meet for co-op meetings at the conference room of the Baltimore Days Inn?
If you're a beat cop, your day is largely answering calls about loud neighbors and barking dogs. Look at NYPD, right? Last 10 years, they've fired less than 100 bullets per year. That's everybody, the entire force. But a TV cop fires that in an episode. You know, even The Wire upped the body count after season 2.
Yeah, but as recent tragic events have made us well aware, you don't always have to fire a gun to get into some HBO-style dramatic makes-you-think shit with the NYPD.
Statistically, a real-life police officer is more likely to get killed off-duty, out of uniform, in an accident than they are patrolling the streets.
You're talking about the pitfalls of street-level policing. I want to be Jimmy McNulty, not Herc. You know, a detective, genuine police.
Where is the mother love?
Then keep in mind, homicide accounts for less than 1% of Part 1 crimes, which all falls under the larger statistical umbrella of crimes. And most homicides are attributed to miscellaneous arguments. Ooh, exciting, let's call Sherlock Cumberbund.
Batch. And clearly, this is all just a cover for a conspiracy so vast.
No, it's just fights that get out of hand or somebody loses impulse control. In shows, they're always struggling to find motive. Yeah, but most real crimes are based on arbitrary nonsense. Also, most drug dealing happens friend to friend. There might be some bell at the top of the drug dealing pyramid, but there's not all these organized blocks of street level enforcement that cop shows blow out of proportion.
Aha! See? More people were killed last year by hands, fists, and feet than by guns in Texas. And that's the gun state. So clearly there is a crime wave going on. You know, people are out there karateing each other to death, and someone's got to put a stop to it with his gun.
It doesn't matter how they did it, right? Most crimes will always be boring. You know, either it's really clear who did the murder, or you can't figure it out right away, which means you'll pretty much never find them.
How dare you impugn my as yet untested sleuthing capabilities?
It's not you. I mean, it will be you. It's just that being a detective is hard. I mean, do you know about the 72-hour rule?
Yes, of course. I watched the first 48 religiously. And I've seen another 48 hours. And Rush Hour, tenuously related, I grant you, but I mean, I'm trying to be a cop here. What do you want me to do? My job? Cop school? Wake up.
Right, so you know that if they don't solve the case based on the 24 hours before it happened and the 48 hours after it happened, they just kind of give up.
That's not fair. It's not like they close the case. They don't burn the files. It's just that 48 hours is generally a good time period to focus your attention on for clues.
Well, I invite you to focus your attention on the unsolved murder rates in U.S. states. There's a big swing, but if you look at Michigan, Alabama, Kansas, California, Massachusetts, it's close to 50%, right? You could murder someone in Kansas, flip a coin, and get a pretty good simulation of whether you're going to get away with it.
How is that possible?
Budgets, mostly, as far as I can tell. Did you know that there are literally hundreds of thousands of violent criminals with open warrants that police will not arrest if they're further than a single county away?
You're telling me a rapist with an open warrant gets pulled over for speeding, they run his license, it pings in the system, they call the station, nothing happens?
If they're like 50 miles away? No.
Every gas station,
residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, or doghouse in that area.
It's not worth sending a squad car out there to do it. And a ton of criminals fall into that category, and it's just budget bullshit. Your whole career, 10 seasons, budget bullshit.
It sounds like my expertise is sorely needed then. A real go-getter's gotta get down there and, plant bite marks on the butts of hobo corpses until the fat cats loosen the purse strings.
But these crimes aren't unsolved because the detectives are Prisbalewski-esque f***ups.
I forgot the one in the chamber.
It's because proving a crime is hard. Especially now that CSI is...
Oh my God! Cop show investigations, of course! Forget The Wire, I'll be a CSI. Yeah!
CSI has everybody thinking that every crime scene is slathered in forensics, right? And that if there isn't DNA evidence, there's no way to get a conviction. But that's just not true. Lawyers call it the CSI effect.
So are you still talking? I'm over here having a really important blue-tinted science montage.
The point is the majority of crimes aren't reported. The majority of reports don't lead to arrests, and the majority of arrests don't lead to convictions. No cop show ever shows us that.
Because it would be f***ing boring.
Well, yeah, I'm not the one considering a career change, okay? Just trying to give you a reality check.
Well, consider me checked. Cops are largely safe, violent crime is historically down, and crime as a whole is pretty boring. Woohoo! What a high-octane thrill ride.
Yeah, well, that's why shows, so real life doesn't have to.
I guess that's true. Oh, you know what I should really do is get into politics. Change that next county over thing. Maybe fund the schools, too? How's no one ever thought of this? Oh, I feel a House of Cards marathon coming on.
Yeah, sweet. I just saw one episode of Iron Chef America, so I'm gonna make a 6-course meal for everybody. So there's
Sweet.
lunch. There you go.
Let me know when you're done. I'll probably get in on that. Get me a natty bow and a crab just laid out on some newspaper, all right? If you're taking orders.
You know you're my Hitchcock and Scully, right? You Peralta me every day. This department could work.
Volume.
Okay. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. That is everything we know about TV and police.
In fact, if you have other genres of show we could ruin for you, you mention that. That would be a good thing to mention in the comments.
And if you want to see another today's topic about another type of TV show,
You do.
or kind of anything, let us know in the comments. That's what they're there for.
Well, not anything.
Anything in the world.
All right.
I mean,
anything anyone comments, we will make a today's topic about that.
I'm really curious about turtles.